Hey, welcome,
Hi,
Alyson. It's great to see you.
thank you. Good to see you.
I'm
Always.
yeah, definitely. It's always great to see you. Thank you so much for joining me today on my first session of Cooking with Love.
Love it.
Um, yeah, just tell me what time is it over there?
It's 11:30 in the morning.
Oh my God. Yeah, well, it is a bit of a difference because I'm here in Germany and it's like 26 past 8. So, but it's great. I can see there that you've got all that natural light coming in, so that's good.
Yes, California sunshine. It's always here.
Yeah, I wish I could be there right now. Well, I wanted to ask you just a few questions. This is why I asked you to join today because I really believe in empowering women and also that food can send such a positive message. And also, the way we cook also is a way of spreading some of the joy and some of the love that we have. It's such a great creative tool, and also it just provides a way for all of us to be together, especially during these times, and also just to show how much we actually do care, especially again at a time like this. So I'm going to go straight into it and ask you my first question, which is can you tell me a bit about actually what you do? Because I know you're a personal chef and you've got your own business. So would you mind telling me a little bit about what you do?
Sure. So basically, well, my business model has changed a little bit since COVID started.
Yeah.
Knew what I do originally planned out to do and was doing for several years. Basically, what I've been doing is um, cooking for individuals, families, couples in their home, and I will prepare a menu for the whole week's worth of food in one, and I'll cook so for that whole entire week in one day,
Yeah.
and do all the shopping and prepare all the meals, put everything in their fridge, label everything, leave heating instructions if needed, and then they can come home to a fridge full of food that's ready to go. They can freeze some of it if it's too much, but usually people, use it for leftovers and whatnot during their week. Um, so I've been going into people's homes and doing that with COVID. A lot of people, of course, didn't want additional people
Yeah.
in their home. So now I'm cooking out of this small little apartment kitchen that I've got, making it work.
Yeah.
I'm doing just the same thing, but then folks either come and pick it up or I deliver it to their doorstep.
And I mean, how many years have you been doing this?
Um, well, I kind of started off part time for a couple years and just trying to figure out if it's something I'd like to do. Um, and then I took the leap and quit my part time job and started this business officially. I think it's been 4 or 5 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what's the most, I think, well, rewarding part of providing like a service like this?
Um, well, I love people and I love making people feel good.
Yes.
And I was doing something very different before. I was in social work, working with people, helping people through whatever challenges and support they needed in their life. So this is a little bit similar in that way. I'm supporting people in their life. I mean, food is a big part of, the foundation of how people function in the world. Most of my clients are like very busy professionals. Um, some are, seniors and can't get out and like homemade food versus like takeout. So what I really feel like I'm bringing is like that heart and soul filled food that's like we were saying made with love, that's filled with love, that's customized to people's wants, needs, preferences. They don't have to um, kind of give in to whatever a restaurant is offering or some other meal delivery service. Like they can ask for what they want. They can give me home recipes that their families used for years, and it nourishes them on a deeper level versus just the nutrient filled food. It's like the energy that's put in as well. So that's what I really love is just
Yeah, I can see that like looking at your Instagram page and also your Facebook page as well, it really does come across, the kind of service that you're providing and how it's such a specialized service, but also anyone can use it. If even if you're like, it's like a single person, you can use it. Like you just said, with a professional, if you're professional and you don't have that time, you still won't lose out on having the healthy and also delicious and really like home cooked feel as well. And then also for families, I'm sure, especially during this time when we're concerned about, our family members, especially the older ones, and knowing that, they can have a service like this available. That's such a great thing.
Yeah.
So kudos to you for, for going that extra mile, especially during this time. But who would you say was your biggest inspiration just with the whole cooking side of things? And and who inspires you now?
Hmm. Well, of course, it's my mom.
Of course.
Uh, like I mentioned before, this was like a like not a planned professional move for me in terms of cooking for a living. I grew up in my grandma's kitchen. I never went to culinary school. I've never worked in the restaurant industry. I've always just enjoyed cooking on my own, enjoyed cooking for my friends and family that come over. Um, so, my mom was a big influence in that. I wasn't always like that excited about being in the kitchen growing up as a kid, but I always had to be in the kitchen growing up, uh, helping my mom prepare dinner. I always had to make my own lunches and breakfast at a very young age. And my grandma's always had me in the kitchen baking and cooking as well. So, my mom still cooks, and it's such a treat for me to like go to my mom's house. And, I often want to cook for her because she's always cooking for her husband now. But it's such a treat when she cooks for me. And I have like the director's chair in her kitchen where I try to resist telling her what to do. And sometimes we get into
Oh, she
disagreement.
must love that.
Yeah. But yeah, my mom is amazing, and she always cooked foods from different cultures and different traditions. And
Oh, that's where you get it from.
yeah.
Oh, yes.
And then traveling, we traveled a lot growing up. So, and I was exposed to that, various styles of cooking in our travels. And we both love food. So that was always a big part of traveling for us. So,
So
yeah.
I have to thank her for meeting you then, because she encouraged you to travel, and
Yeah.
that's how we met. With you traveling, because you're quite an avid traveler as well.
Yeah.
So
Exactly. Yeah. I'm very grateful for my mom in so many ways. So I think about her a lot while I'm cooking. And when I get, you know, appreciation from my clients about, how good the food was, or like how nourished they felt, or just how lovely it was to come home to like home cooked food, I always think of my mom, and just I'm really grateful for her.
I think again, it's having that strong woman, in our lives. I mean, my mom is also the one who inspired me to cook. Um, And I just think, how we as women also empower those qualities in the things that we do in whatever career we choose. I mean, you've chosen this career path.
Hmm.
And I mean, being a woman, have you found that, just being in this position and the kind of sort of entrepreneurial decisions that you've made, has it been harder for you? Because I know with chefs, it's always a bit of a, oh, female chef.
Right.
How,
Right.
have you ever encountered any challenges with that? So
I haven't, because like I said, I've never worked in the restaurant industry, um, which I know is very competitive, and it's very male dominated in terms of the head chefs in the kitchen, which is so odd to me because it's always been women in the kitchen.
I
So where
know.
I mean, it would be interesting to look back at history where the shift was made and why men have this like head role in like restaurant chef work. But so, because I've been in people's homes, and like, you know, that stereotypical role of like the woman in the home, uh, preparing home cooked meals, I guess really hasn't brought me any sort of challenge in that sense. and there's so many programs now that are supporting women, entrepreneurial style businesses and starting their own businesses. It's just, there's a lot of resources for women that want to start their own businesses. So I was able to use some of those resources and mentors and apply for some grant money. And so I felt actually kind of very supported in that way too. And I think the other thing about being a woman and being a personal chef is just people feel more comfortable with a woman coming into their home versus a man, I
Yeah, I
think, in
think
a way. So it's kind of an
that's a
interesting.
competitive thing, you know. And
Yeah.
where do you see your wonderful business in the future to come? Do you see changes or different things coming with me?
I don't, with the way the world is shifting so quickly and so drastically in so many senses, I don't really know. I mean, you and I have talked about our dream of like incorporating the travel and like, cultural exploration and you know, kind of developing more of a sense of appreciation for women cooks all over the world. I'd really love to like expand that somehow, some way. And I think this is kind of like a nice little beginning of possibly that path with you. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, Anthony Bourdain, like we've talked about, what he did was so incredible and it showing the world how amazing all these cooks all over the world are. And I would love to follow in his footsteps and maybe focus more on women and their experience cooking. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I think, you know, whatever role a woman has, especially even if it is in the kitchen, I think where it's been so different, women, it's a natural and just like it's a lot of ends I always think natural, nourishing, nurturing.
Mm-hmm.
We permeate all those things and we're not competitive about it. And I think this is what sets us apart from men because where sometimes it's in the kitchen and they make it seem so competitive and so stressful and so, there's a lot of anger and rage and everything else. And I think for women, we do have to lead the way into cooking should be fun. Cooking should be full of love. Cooking should be. I've been in so many kitchens all over the world and in Africa. I know you've been to Africa as well.
Mm-hmm.
And the homeliness and to have so many people actually in a kitchen cooking is another thing, where you do feel that love and everybody's got their little chores and little things to do while you cook this fantastic meal. And that's something that I think, we really do need to continue to bolster and support. So thank you so much for being part of
My pleasure.
I mean, this is, I think, the message that for me, I know I want to communicate and I feel so grateful that you're the first person that I've been able to contact and have this connection with. And I really do want to wish you the best with your own career and everything that you're doing. I think it's amazing. And
Thank you.
I just want to see you grow and I want to continue to do stuff with you. So thank you so much for joining.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for always being so supportive and such an inspiration in so many ways as well. It's just always hearing your voice and hearing what you're doing is just always so beautiful. So thank you for bringing us all together and doing this. It's amazing.
Okay, well, that's a wrap. I'll see
Okay.
you. Ciao.
Ciao.